If you are a U.S. citizen, a green card holder, or even someone still waiting for an approval notice, today's conversation truly matters. There is a lot of confusion, fear, and misinformation online about U.S. citizenship, and one of the most common questions people quietly worry about is whether citizenship can ever be taken away. The answer is not as simple as social media headlines make it seem. Yes, there are situations where U.S. citizenship can be lost, but they are far more specific, rare, and structured than most people realize. My goal today is not to scare you. My goal is clarity. When you understand how the system actually works, you feel calmer, more prepared, and more in control of your immigration journey. Immigration rules are not static. Policies change, processing times shift, new announcements are released, and sometimes even small details can have a big impact. In today's video, we're going to talk honestly about what it really means to lose U.S. citizenship, how it can happen, who it applies to, and who it does not. We'll also look at broader immigration updates that affect applicants, families, workers, and students around the world. And as always, I want to be very clear. This is not legal advice. I am not a government official or an attorney. I'm here to explain information in a calm, simple, and supportive way so you don't feel overwhelmed or lost. Many people believe that once you become a U.S. citizen, nothing can ever change. You receive your passport, you gain the right to vote, you feel secure, and it feels permanent. In many ways, it is. U.S. citizenship is one of the strongest legal statuses in the world, but it is not completely untouchable. There are specific laws and very structured legal processes that exist to review cases where something may not have been done correctly from the beginning. This does not mean the government is looking for excuses to take citizenship away. It means citizenship is taken seriously, and the process to obtain it must be lawful and truthful from start to finish. Before discussing the rare situations where citizenship can be lost, it's important to understand who is considered a U.S. citizen in the first place. Some people are citizens by birth. They were born in the United States or certain U.S. territories, or they were born abroad to at least one U.S. citizen parent who could legally pass citizenship to them. Others become citizens through naturalization, meaning they were not born American, but went through the legal immigration process, lived in the U.S. lawfully, passed required exams, took the oath of allegiance, and earned citizenship. Both groups are citizens. Both have constitutional rights. Both are protected under U.S. law. However, there is one important legal distinction in how their citizenship history is reviewed. For people who are citizens by birth, their status is extremely secure. In nearly all situations, it cannot be taken away unless there was serious fraud involving identity or birth records from the very beginning, and those cases are extraordinarily rare. For naturalized citizens, there is a documented history of applications, interviews, background checks, and sworn statements. If years later the government discovers that something critical in that process was intentionally hidden or falsified, the law allows the case to be reviewed again. This does not mean small mistakes lead to loss of citizenship. It does not mean language barriers or confusion destroy lives. Reviews focus on deliberate deception, not honest errors. This is important to remember as we move forward. The vast majority of people never face citizenship issues. The stories that do exist are almost always tied to serious fraud, criminal deception, or actions that directly conflict with loyalty to the United States. Let's start with the least frightening and most misunderstood situation of all, because it is entirely voluntary. One way a person can lose U.S. citizenship is by choosing to give it up. This is called renunciation, and it does not happen accidentally. You cannot lose citizenship because you moved abroad, expressed frustration, or posted something online. Renunciation is a formal, deliberate process that takes place in person at a U.S. embassy or consulate outside the United States. The individual meets with an official, signs detailed paperwork, and takes an oath confirming they fully understand the consequences. There is also a significant fee involved, and once completed, the decision is permanent. People renounce citizenship for different reasons. Some have lived abroad for many years and feel fully settled in another country. Others want to simplify tax or financial obligations. Some make the decision for personal or political reasons. Whatever the motivation, the key point is choice. No one is forced into renunciation, and when someone renounces, they give up the right to vote, lose automatic entry into the US, and may need a visa to visit in the future. For most people, this is never part of their life. Simply living abroad, holding dual citizenship, or spending long periods outside the US does not cause loss of citizenship. Renunciation only happens when someone intentionally completes the process. Now, let's talk about the situation that causes the most anxiety. Yes, in limited cases, the government can revoke citizenship, but this usually happens for one reason: serious fraud during the naturalization process. This is called denaturalization, and it does not happen randomly. It does not occur because someone forgot a date or misunderstood a question years ago. Denaturalization typically involves intentional concealment of major facts, such as using a false identity, hiding a serious criminal history, or lying about involvement in violent or extremist activities. When this happens, it is not handled quietly. It becomes a federal court case. The person is notified, has the right to respond, and can be represented by legal counsel. Evidence is reviewed, arguments are made, and a judge decides. Nothing happens overnight. Most citizens never face denaturalization because most people followed the process honestly. Even if paperwork was confusing or English was difficult, the focus is on intentional deception, not honest mistakes. Another point that surprises people is that there is no strict time limit. If serious fraud is discovered years later, the case can still be reviewed. This does not mean the government is constantly searching for reasons to revoke citizenship. It means citizenship is treated as something valuable that must be earned truthfully. If you were honest throughout your process, you generally have nothing to fear. There is also confusion about citizenship and involvement with certain organizations. In rare cases, citizenship may be questioned if someone becomes involved with groups that actively seek to harm or overthrow the U.S. government. This is not about opinions, criticism, religion, or peaceful activism. It is about direct alignment with violent or hostile organizations. These cases are rare and carefully reviewed, often focusing on whether the oath of allegiance was sincere at the time of naturalization. Living abroad, traveling, maintaining cultural ties, or holding strong political views does not automatically put someone at risk. These reviews involve extreme circumstances and go through legal channels, not social media speculation. If you followed the law, worked hard, and built your life honestly, these rules are not meant for you. Dual citizenship is another topic surrounded by fear. Millions of Americans hold two passports, and for the most part, the U.S. allows it. You can maintain cultural ties, visit family, and travel freely. In rare situations, complications arise if someone formally pledges exclusive allegiance to another country or holds a high-ranking foreign government position that conflicts with U.S. interests. Even then, review is not automatic. The key factor is intent. The most extreme and rare category involves treason. These cases involve acting as an agent for an enemy government or supporting armed rebellion. They require extensive investigation, clear evidence, and long court proceedings. Everyday actions like studying abroad, criticizing policies, or expressing opinions online do not qualify as treason. For people born in the United States, citizenship is especially protected. Except for extremely rare cases involving falsified birth records, citizenship by birth is secure. Travel, living abroad, or family immigration issues do not remove it. Now, let's talk about immigration updates that affect far more people daily. USCIS continues working through backlogs built over several years. Some cases move faster, others slower, depending on category and location. Delays usually do not mean something is wrong. Silence does not equal denial. Work visas, student visas, visitor visas, and family based cases all face different timelines. Planning ahead, staying organized, and responding promptly to requests for evidence are key. Interviews are designed to confirm information, not trap applicants. Honesty is always the safest approach. Travel with pending cases requires understanding your status and documents. Secondary inspection can feel stressful, but is often routine. Officers look for clarity, not perfection. Immigration is not just paperwork, it is your life, your plans, your family, and your future. Waiting can feel heavy, but millions have walked this path before you and reached their goals. As we bring everything together, here is the core truth. U.S. citizenship is strong, meaningful, and deeply protected. While rare exceptions exist, they involve specific legal standards and long processes, not rumors or fear. Immigration journeys require patience, honesty, and awareness. Confusion is normal. Questions are normal. What matters is staying informed and calm. If today's update helped you feel clearer or more at ease, I'm glad. If you'd like to stay updated on U.S. immigration, visas, citizenship, and travel, you're welcome to stay connected here on Move and Earn USA. And if you have a story or question, feel free to share it in the comments. Your experience may help someone else feel less alone. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm Gabriel, and I truly appreciate your trust. Take care, stay informed, and stay hopeful.